What is up, everyone? Welcome to the video. Wow. Do I have some massive news for you in Grey Zone Warfare? I know a lot of us have been having our trigger fingers ready and waiting for the moment where the new update comes along and gives us that itch to get back into the field, shooting and questing and just doing a bit more on, the Thailand bushland area. So I have so much news for you. Strap in, get some popcorn, go to the toilet. This is going to be a cracker of a video. Of course, please do like, subscribe, and comment for the algorithm. If you want to see more from myself, that would be greatly appreciated. And I appreciate you being here in the first place. I am Blacklight. All right, so basically what happened is we had a Grey Zone Warfare briefing video which ran through what is coming, what their plans are, and even got some footage and screenshots of what they're bringing into the game, which I thought was crazy. I actually didn't expect that. I literally just expected them to talk about it, and then we actually got footage of what the day and night cycle looked like. Like, obviously, it wasn't what it's going to be exactly in the future, but we got to see it, and trust me, night looked freaking cool. It really added kind of like this just new world to the game that I really think is going to be cool. So everything I say to you was said by the CEO. Don't take it as all of this is coming in the next update. They have plans for future updates after the big one. Obviously, the next one coming for you, if you didn't know, the first big update, 0.2, which is the day and night cycle. So the day and night cycle is essentially, as you can imagine, the world that we're in going from day to night and having nighttime questing and stuff like that. And it's just cool. That is coming to the game. Now, essentially what happened was the first things sort of spoken about, and I'm not going to go too heavily into what they are exactly, but he spoke about weapon durability and new weapons coming along, which is around the AK series of weapons. He did go into models and stuff, which I'm not going to mention, but that is coming along. So as you can imagine, in a first-person shooter game, we always want more and new guns. That is coming along. He also mentioned about focus testing prior to the release of these big updates. So what that means is whether you're a content creator or someone just that wants to be hopefully a part of these big tests so we can give feedback before the update actually happens, there will be the opportunity for this, which is very cool, which means we can get hands-on and make sure that everything is as smooth as possible. Now, please be aware, throughout all of this and before all of this, they have been constantly working on bugs, hot fixes. There was a big emphasis on the rubber banding as well, that being a lot better for the game. So for a lot of you that were experiencing that, whether you do have a high-end PC or a low-end PC, it doesn't matter. This is being attended to constantly, so don't fear for that if you did stop playing the game because of performance issues or optimization issues. From what I know and from what I hear, it's getting better every day. So come back on in and have a go. They then went to sort of talk about planning to have something special and different based around storytelling and exploration, which I didn't see coming. And he did sort of say that no other game in this type of genre has had this before. There was a huge emphasis on lore, quests, and around this happening through like your questing and then also like evacuation extractions as well. So that was really cool. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I'm interested and intrigued to know what he's sort of exactly talking about. That's something that I didn't really see coming. So yeah, that was a pleasant surprise. He talked about repairing weapons and armors, and that carrying and dragging teammates or dead. I don't know if this is included, but I hope we can drag dead enemies as well. But in the big update, we are looking to have carrying and dragging teammates. I mean, I'd love it if I shot someone who had the Giga Chad of Giga Chad gear and I just wanted to mess around with them. I drag their body to the river and I just leave it in the open. I'm like, hey, if you want your gear, it's right there. Go for it. So that would be cool. We'll see what that means, if that is for enemies as well. But definitely for, if your teammate gets shot, you kill someone, or you just, your teammate gets shot and you try and do the hacksaw ridge and get them to a safe position to revive, that is going to be coming, which is huge because I think throughout the video, he did basically use the word immersive a lot, which is cool. He wants it to be as immersive as possible. So even when someone asked a question like, when we die, can we have a marker to show like where we died? He was kind of like really against this because he wants it to be kind of as realistic as possible. And if obviously we respawn in the base after we die, and there's certain limits to games to make it as realistic as possible, or else we wouldn't play them if it's too realistic. So he basically was really kind of like against having a marker because it wasn't real. I wonder if there's something we could do, like if maybe we're in a fight, right, and we have like an item that places on the ground. It's kind of like a beacon, and then when we get into a fight and we die, that beacon sort of pings like a radar for us, so we know the area, so it doesn't give a exact location and enemies maybe can destroy it. That would be cool. Man, maybe I should be a dev myself because these ideas are kind of nuts. But yeah, that was really cool. One of the biggest things I really liked, I think, about from the talk was he talked about capture camps. This is from Bandits and what did they want in the past, and he was talking about some changes being made around this, but essentially all factions can sort of capture a camp that's in the middle of the map or around the map that's controlled by bandits. But this can also spark some PvP as well because it's open to every faction. And what this capture camp will do for you is sort of like create an operation base from it. So when you capture it, you then can respawn from it, and then you get an access to a new vendor from it. That was really cool. I was really excited to hear that as well. I don't know if the new vendor, it'll give you things you can't get from the base, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. He spoke heavily about rogue PMCs. Now, if you don't know what a rogue PMC is, it's essentially if you accidentally or just intentionally kill someone from your own faction, it's to like eradicate team killing in a sense, but also add like a bit of variety to you yourself doing something a bit naughty or just against the values of what the game is. So essentially he was talking about if you did kill someone, you will then get you'll be marked as like a rogue PMC, and then you have to do things to like sort of clear or clean your name. And he basically said, this is what we're gonna do, but I don't know what I'm going to do to actually put this into place. Is it going to be bounties? Is it going to be you have to do some really crappy quests to then, you know, clear your name, something like that? So maybe you become a rogue PMC, but then a task happens from that, like a task comes up and says I'm a naughty boy or something like that, and then all of a sudden you have to do the most blatant crappy task ever as a punishment. So he spoke about that. That was cool. Ground Zero, which I am really looking forward to, because I guess we don't know what it is. I don't even think that's going to be anything in the early access. He spoke about it and basically said that's not something they're sort of diving in straight away. I think it's going to be more part of the full release. I really want to know what Ground Zero is, but I guess we're not going to know yet. He wanted to add night quests as well to the day and night cycle, so more quests which move you around the map more, so you aren't going back to the same spot. So we're not doing 19 tasks in Fort Nareth over and over. He spoke about like using the map more and being able to explore it more through tasking, which I think is a big thing, because if you've watched any of my other videos, tasking in this game, going back to the same place and doing the same thing, whether it's a different document or not, it's still a document. It gets a bit repetitive, and I think giving variety and just a bit more structure to the map for tasking, I guess, and just more things to do would be cool. He spoke heavily on transportation, that he wants and they need to improve it. He spoke about helicopters being too long and that they want the helicopter to now enter through multiple points, because if you know or noticed, you may not have, that helicopters always spawn really from the base, and that's what creates a lot of the time wasting in a sense. But he also then did mention that a helicopter is also part of the punishment. Now, that's not going to your task, but if we do die in battle out in the field, whether it's to AI or PvP, waiting for the helicopter, getting in the helicopter, and then trying to retrieve our body or the loot on our body is part of the punishment. That is, you know, the price you pay. If you die, you can't just instantly teleport back. There has to be some sort of like wait and go feature. So this is something he was pretty adamant about. I thought that was really cool. And the last two things, he spoke about wanting to improve looting. He didn't really touch too heavily on it. I don't know whether that's like a QOL thing or more about like what you find in the world. That's something we have to wait and see. And something that was really cool was that he was adding the ability for guns to get dirty, or not he, but they've added the ability for guns to get dirty and rusty, which means they'll need to get cleaned, repaired. And it's kind of like this CSGO, I guess, formula, where in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, you have like a gun that's like, I don't know what the top tier one is, but it's like something, then minimal wear, lightly used, like that type of thing for guns, and then destroyed, so or heavily used and stuff like that. So that would be really cool. And we actually got to see, I know I mentioned it before at the start of the video, but we actually got to see screenshots of the guns and what they look like, of a gun and what they look like when it goes from brand new to rusty, and to like, obviously they want to make it destroyed. And then we got to see screenshots and video footage of nighttime and day going to night and night going to day, and it was amazing. I don't know if you've played a game called Hunt Showdown, but it kind of just gave me that vibe of Hunt Showdown at nighttime. Like the lights on the streets of the town were showing on the road, but it was completely dark elsewhere. I hope they give the ability for us to shoot lights out, like the telegraph poles on the road. That would be cool. Like if we get into a fight somewhere and there's lights, if we can shoot the lights to give advantage or disadvantage to our enemies, that would be really cool and immersive. So I hope that gets added as well. That was something on my own end, but yeah, that was basically it. We then went into a Q&A. I don't want to harp on it too much. Yeah, that was basically it for the first sort of update on everything they're looking at. Now, let me just say again, everything I've said to you is not coming in the first big update. This is things that they're doing as a whole, and if I did say specifically he did want this and this is happening in the next update, then it is. But a lot of these things will come after the big update as well, so everything can't just come at once. That's not how it works. There's a small lure team. They're you know, AA company, so we have to bear with it. But these are the things, and to be honest, it's very, very exciting. Let me know what you think in the comments below, whether you think this should be done first, or you're just loving everything you heard and you cannot wait and you've got the itch even more now. Once again, please like, subscribe, and comment for the algorithm below. That's greatly appreciated. I'll see you on the next one. I am Blacklight.